Hi, my name is Sanam, and today I would like to discuss about blood doping.
Blood doping is essentially increasing the amount of red blood cells in the body. But to start off, let's talk about the main components of blood doping, which are the red blood cells. Red blood cells, which are also called erythrocytes, play a very important role in your health, and that is by carrying oxygen throughout the body. Red blood cells contain a protein called hemoglobin, which is the main component in carrying oxygen. Without it, there'd be no oxygen at all in the body. Red blood cells are essentially produced in the bone marrow of the bone. As blood is being distributed throughout the whole body, it also goes towards the tissues and organs that need them the most, and that's especially needed for athletic training. Red blood cells are the main ingredient to blood doping. With red blood cells actively transporting oxygen, blood doping is just another way of inducing more blood into the body system. Blood doping does this by multiple ways. One way is by erythropoietin or EPO. A second way is by blood transfusion, and a third way is inducing synthetic oxygen carriers into the system. The first way that I'll be talking about is erythropoietin, or in short, EPO. EPO is naturally produced in the body. It is a hormone that is released by the kidneys and stimulates bone marrow to produce and pump out more red blood cells throughout the whole body. EPO is generally given to patients that suffer anemia and other diseases related to blood reduction, such as kidney diseases. Just like the diagram shows in the picture, when there is a lower count of red blood cells in the body, the kidney is stimulated and releases EPO, which then stimulates the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells in the body, which in turn increases endurance and stability of the body. The second way of blood doping is by blood transfusions. Blood transfusions come in two ways: autologous transfusions and homologous transfusions. Autologous transfusions involve drawing and storing an athlete's blood for future use. When the athlete is ready to use the stored blood, it is then injected back into the body and increases the amount of red blood cells in the body. Homologous transfusion is when an athlete or a patient uses the blood of someone else with the same blood type, which also gives the same result as EPO or autologous transfusions. These transfusions are medically used for patients who lost blood due to injury or in surgery, and for patients with relatively low red blood cell count. The third and last way of blood doping that I'll be talking about is inducing synthetic chemicals or oxygen carriers in the body. This way involves using artificial oxygen carriers that are either chemicals or enhanced proteins that has the ability to carry oxygen throughout the body. Examples of synthetic oxygen carriers include hemoglobin oxygen carriers and perfluorocarbons. These carriers can effectively transport and deliver oxygen to tissues and organs. These are medically used in emergencies and therapeutic purposes when human blood is unavailable. Aerobic capacity is the maximum amount of work or exercise that an individual can do measured by the oxygen consumption. All these components in the diagram shows what is needed in order to achieve aerobic capacity. In regards to blood doping, increasing the amount of red blood cells in the body increases the hemoglobin and the blood volume, which then increases the hemoglobin mass, which then increases the aerobic capacity. With the topic of blood doping, elevated blood levels caused by methods of blood doping allows oxygen-rich blood cells to the muscles to work longer and fix better after an extreme exercise. Blood doping also reduces fatigue with increased oxygen levels. If the body runs out of oxygen or less of the oxygen is passing through the body, then it turns into anaerobic metabolism, whose waste products shut down the ability to perform. Adding to that, a drug called clenbuterol is usually used by athletes who want to increase their muscle size, but it also has shown to increase the production of fast twitch muscles, which would then aid in cycling races.
Girl, hey, are you okay? You don't look so good.
No, I'm so tired. I can't run effectively. I get so tired easily. I don't know what to
It's
do.
okay, it's okay. I was in the same exact position 3 weeks ago, but now I'm running a lot farther, I'm lifting way more weights, and I'm starting to notice a lot more definition in my body.
Well, what did you do?
Okay, so use a little something, and it's called EPO.
Well, what?
Come on.
Is it illegal or anything like steroids?
Well, in most countries, but it promotes muscle activity 3 times faster.
Well, then how does it work then?
Okay, so more blood equals more oxygen equals more muscle.
Well, I don't know if I want to take a shot or anything.
Girl, it's just another hormone, and we already have plenty of those naturally in our bodies.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's give it a shot then.
All right.